Hello children, welcome back. We are going to continue with our topic decimals in this video. We are going to begin with exercise 5B here. So in exercise 5B, we are going to come across something known as like and unlike decimals. So let us get an idea of what you mean by like and unlike decimals. Okay, now consider I have a decimal number 83.4. Okay, in this number 8 is in the tens place, 3 is in the ones place and 4 is in the tens place. Okay, there is no number, there is no digit in the hundreds or thousands place. So I would say that this number has got one decimal place. Okay, since there is only one digit after the decimal point, I will say it has got one decimal place. Let me take another number. 48.26. Okay, again here I have 4 in the tens, 8 in the ones, 2 in the tens place and 6 in the hundreds place. What would I say here? That this number has got 2 decimal places, since there are 2 digits after the decimal point. Okay, the first number had 1 decimal place, the second number has 2 decimal places. Let me take another number, 37.148. Now here I have 3 in the tens, 7 in the ones, 1 in the tens, 4 in the hundreds and 8 in the thousands place. Now here I would say that this number has 3 decimal places. Okay, so the first number had only the tens and thus I said it has 1 decimal place. The second number had tens as well as hundreds, so I said there are 2 decimal places. And the third number had tens, hundreds and thousands, so I said there are 3 decimal places. Now children, to understand like and unlike decimals, we just have to focus on the decimal part. The whole number part is not at all important over here. We are just going to look at the decimal part. So basically just focus on your tens, hundreds and thousands. Now such decimals are called unlike decimals. Why they are called unlike decimals? Because if you see the decimal places, they are all different. This has 1, this has 2, this has 3. So because the decimal places are different, we call them as unlike decimals. Supposing this question or supposing these examples had to be a little modified, as I'm going to show you all. Now I'm going to create 3 decimal places for all the numbers. I'll put 7 here, 6 here. Now can you see? My first number has got 3 decimal places. I have tens, hundreds as well as thousands. Here also I will put some number. My second number also now has 3 decimal places. And the third number also has 3 decimal places. So everywhere I have 3 decimal places. Here also there are 3 decimal places. And here also there are 3 decimal places. Now such decimals are called like decimals. So when the decimal places are same, like if all have 3 or if all have 2, they are called like decimals. If they have different number of decimal places, they are called unlike decimals. Now we will learn how to convert unlike decimals to like decimals. Let me take an example again. I have a number 3.27. Now this has tens and hundreds. Okay, and I have another number 25.6. Now this has got only tens. Okay children, don't focus on the whole number part, just look at the decimal part. Now these are unlike decimals. Why? Because this has got 2 decimal places, whereas this has got only 1 decimal place. So we say that they are unlike. Now how do you make unlike decimals to like? Now the hundredths place is empty over here, whereas here there is 7. I need to put a certain digit in the hundredths place. If I put a digit in the hundredths place, I will get 2 decimal places. So which digit should I put? I cannot put any digit except 0. So this vacant hundredths place, which was making the decimals unlike, if I fill it up with a 0, the decimals from unlike will become like. Now the first one has 2 decimal places and the second one also has got 2 decimal places. So now they became like decimals. Alright, so this is how you make unlike decimals to like decimals. Now going back to the exercise 5B, you are given a set of decimals in every question and you are told to make them from unlike to like. Let us take an example. Convert unlike to like. Okay, I have some decimal numbers here, that is 9.6, 14.75. You can write them one below the other, children, so that you are not confused. 0.862, 126.09. Okay, I prefer to write the question in this way, one below the other, because it will make the sum more clear to me. So this is my question. The decimals are unlike. I have to make them like. So now children, don't focus on the whole number part because the whole number has got nothing to do with like and unlike decimals. Let's concentrate on the decimal part. So there are tenths, hundredths and thousands. Okay. Now the first number only has tenths, the second one has tenths as well as hundreds. The third one has tenths, hundreds as well as thousands. And the last one is only tenths and hundreds. Now if you look here, there are 4 numbers. First one has 1 decimal place, second one has 2 decimal places, third one has 3 and the fourth one has 2. So maximum number of decimal places that I have is 3. So what I have to do is convert every one into 3 decimal places. So the hundreds and thousands which are vacant here, I will fill them up with zeros. Here the thousands is vacant, so I'll fill it up with a 0. Here also 1000 is vacant, I'll fill it up with a 0. So you can see the unlike decimals became like decimals. Okay, let us take one more example. There is 9.4, 65.83, 0.065. Okay, so write them like this, children, one below the other. So I have tenths, hundreds, thousands. Okay, first one has 1, second one has 2 and third one has 3 decimal places. So maximum number of decimal places are 3. So I have to make sure that all become 3. So what I will do is put 0. I'll put it with a black pen so that you all can understand where I have put zeros. Put 0 in the hundreds and thousands here. Here hundreds are there but no thousands are there. So put a 0 in the thousands place. So whichever place is vacant, put a 0. Now all have got 3 decimal places. Now sometimes children, you may also have a question like this. Okay. You may have 1 decimal place, 1 decimal place and 2 decimal places. Now maximum number of decimal places is 2. So what you all need to do in such questions, we don't require the thousands place because maximum only 2 decimal places are there. So to make them like, I just need to put zeros in the hundreds place. Okay. They will all have 2 decimal places. You did not have the thousands place and put one more 0. So always see what is the maximum number of decimal places in your question and try to make all the numbers with the same number of decimal places. If the maximum is 3 decimal places, make every one with 3 decimal places. If the maximum is 2 decimal places, make every one with 2 decimal places. So this is how we are going to solve question 1. Question 1, especially the third sum, if you all notice, the maximum number of decimal places over there are 2. So make sure that all the numbers have 2 decimal places only. Okay, then moving to question number 2. Question number 2, you have to compare decimals. So I will show you all how to compare decimals. Say you have a number like this. Again here the rule before comparing decimals, the first step that you have to do before comparing decimals is to make sure that both the numbers on either side of this box are having the same number of decimal places. Now you can look here, there are 2 decimal places, whereas here there is only 1. Here there is tenths as well as hundredths, but here there is only tenths. Okay, so the first step is to make sure that the decimal places are same. Now the hundredths place was vacant here, so put a 0. Alright, first step, make the decimal places like. Then you go to compare. Now when you go to compare the decimals, first you have to spot the whole number. Check out the whole number. Here the whole number is 71. Here the whole number is 85. So whichever number has the bigger whole number is going to be the bigger number. Here 85 is the bigger whole number, that means this number is big. So the mouth will open towards the big number. Let us take an example where the whole number is same. I have 13.8 and 13.429. Okay, 13.8 and 13.429. What did I say? What is the first step? Make the decimal places same. Make them like. Now here I have tens, hundreds as well as thousands. But here I have only tenths. So I will put a 0 in the hundreds place and I will put a 0 in the thousands place. So my decimal places are made like. Now if you look here, the whole number is 13 in both the cases. So I cannot compare the whole number. If the whole number is same, you next move to the tens place. Now in the tens place, I have 8 here and I have 4 here. So which number is having the bigger tens place? This number. It is having 8 in the tens place. So this number will be big. Now supposing your tens place was also same. Okay, say instead of 8, this number was 4. Okay, then what would you do? Your whole number is same. Your tens place is also same. If tens place is same, go to the next place, that is the hundreds place, and compare. The hundreds place is having 0 here. The hundreds place is having 2 here. So which is big? 2 is big. That means this number is bigger. Alright. Once again I am telling you, while comparing, first step, make sure the decimal places are like. If they are not like, put zeros, make them like. Next step, first look at the whole number. Whichever number is having the bigger whole number will be the bigger number. In case the whole number is same, first compare the tenths. If the tenths are same, compare the hundreds. If the hundreds are same, compare the thousands. Okay, so with this, I hope you all understood how to compare decimal numbers. Now the next thing is ascending and descending order. Okay, we'll now move to question 3, ascending order. Alright, ascending order means arranging numbers from small to big. Now say you are given a set of numbers 4.73, 7.06, 0.8, 0.425 and say 29.67. Okay, so this is your list of numbers. Now again here children, the ascending descending order sums in your book, they have written them in a straight line. Please don't write them in a straight line because it leads to a lot of confusion when you are arranging them in ascending or descending order. Write them like this, one below the other, with all the ones together, all the tens together, all the hundreds together, so that it is easy for you to sort. Now ascending order also, just like how you were comparing your decimals, in ascending order also you have to make sure that the decimal places are like. Let me just go through. This number has 2, this number has 2 decimal places, this has 1, this has 3 and this has 2. Maximum number of decimal places is 3 over here. So I have to make sure that all the numbers have got 3 decimal places. Here I have tens, hundreds, I don't have thousands, I'll put a 0. Tens, hundreds, no thousands, I'll put a 0. Only tens, no hundreds, no thousands, so I'll put a 0. Here there is tens, there is hundreds, no thousands, so I'll put a 0. First step, make the decimals like. Whichever places were vacant, whichever digits were not there, put zeros. Next step, arrange in ascending order. So now to arrange in ascending order, again just like how while comparing I told you all, first look at the whole number part. While doing ascending order also, first look at the whole number part. So I have 4, 7, zeros, 29. The smallest whole number is 0. But there are 2 numbers having 0. So then how do I compare? Look at their tens place. Now one is having 4 in the tens place, the other is having 8 in the tens place. So which is smaller? 4 is smaller. So the first number will be 0.425. So children, write your question here neatly one below the other, and just next to it write the answer in the same way one below the other. So 0.425 is the smallest. Next will be 0.800. See children how I am writing the ones one below the other, the tens one below the other, the hundreds one below the other, the thousands one below the other. Please do it the same way. So zeros are done. Then I have 4, 7, 29. So next you can take a pencil and strike off the numbers each time you finished putting it in your list. Next, the smallest number is 4. So 4 in the whole number part, 0.730. So this is done. Next is 7. So 7 here, 0.060. And finally, the biggest one is whole number 29. So 29.670. So neatly I have arranged them in ascending order. Okay, now question 4 is similar, but this time it is descending order. I hope you all remember what is descending order. It's the opposite of ascending. Descending is from big to small. Okay, now children, remember ascending, the word ascending begins with the first alphabet of the letters, that is A, the first alphabet, A. So A is the first alphabet, so remember ascending is small to big and descending is the opposite, that is big to small. So I will just take some few numbers here, 3.6, 3.07, 3.48, 3.63 and 3.7. Okay, I have some numbers here. I have to arrange them in descending order. Okay, now let us see what is to be done first. First, make the decimal places like. Now here this one has 1, the second one has 2, 2, 2, 1. So some numbers are having 1 decimal place and some are having 2 decimal places. Maximum number of decimal places is 2. So I have to make sure that all the numbers have got 2 decimal places. Now these numbers do not have the hundreds place, so I'll put a 0. You need not create a thousands place here because 2 is the maximum number of decimal places. So don't put one more 0 and make 3 decimal places. See what is the maximum? Accordingly, make the other numbers also with that many decimal places. Now the whole number part is same everywhere. So we have to basically look at the decimals and compare. So 3 point, let's see which number has the smallest digit in the decimal place. There is 0. Okay, sorry, we are doing descending order. So we have to see the biggest number first. So 7 is the biggest digit in the tens place. So that will come first, 3.70. Okay, so we are done with 3.70. After 7, next we have 6. But there are 2 6 in the tens place. Now we'll next move to the hundreds place. Here there is 3 and here there is 0. So obviously the number having 3 in the hundreds place is going to be bigger. So next will be 3.63. Strike off the 3.63. After that we have 3.60. So strike off the 3.60. Then the next biggest is 4. So 3.48. And last will be the smallest digit in the tens place, that is 0. 3.07. So we are done with descending. You can see the tens place. We have 7, then 6, then 4 and finally 0. Okay, so if the whole number is same, look at the tens place and compare. If the tens place is same, look at the hundreds place. Alright, this is a simple exercise. You can attempt this, but please do it neatly in the notebook. Especially your ascending descending order, follow this method. Don't write it in a straight line. It leads to a lot of confusion and errors. Thank you children. Have a nice day.